Welcome to Beyond the Walls, a podcast where faith doesn't stop on Sunday morning. Together we'll explore what it looks like to take your faith to where you live, where you work, and where you do everyday life. I'm Jared Kendall, joined by Cameron Jinks and Jordan Sheehy. Come with us as we discuss what it looks like to have real faith beyond the walls.
What's going on, podcast world? This is Jordan.
This is Cameron.
And this is Jared. Welcome back to Beyond the Walls as we are focusing on missions for the next couple of weeks. And so we have a friend here who has been on mission trip way back in May. But go ahead and tell us who's here.
Yeah, my name is Carter McKibbon. I'm a student at ORU. And I just got back from mission trip to Scotland. So
Scotland. Did you wear a kilt while you were there?
I did not wear a kilt, but during our team reveal, I wore a kilt. Me and my co-leader, they do like this whole team reveal because you never know like where you're going. You get like revealed. So they had leader reveal, so we found out who's your co-leader and where you're going. So that's how I found out. Her name's Ellie. She's my co-leader, and then found out we went to Scotland. And then so, like a week later, people that signed up for just membership, they just go through that process, and then they have a team reveal. So like we decided to borrow kilts from last year's team. Heck yeah. Wore kilts, and then we also Ellie's dad had two like real like medieval swords. So we brought those with us.
To Scotland?
I don't think you can do that.
No, I was like, whoa, what?
TSA,
no,
hello.
The team reveal.
Oh, that makes sense.
So we also wore like war paint. We were trying to do like some like Braveheart kind of thing.
Oh, a little William Wallace.
So
Shout out, great movie.
Oh my gosh. So who did you go with?
yeah, so we went with Oral Roberts University for the school I go to. They have a missions and outreach organization. So they sent out like 300 students across like 32 countries, all in this like at the same time. So we all left the same day, and then there was 2 and 3 week trips. So 2 week trips get back on the same day, and then 3 weeks get back the week later. So that's really it's really amazing, like the culture that they build, like because you're with your team throughout most of the entire year, and so you're kind of just growing closer together. You're also like just learning more about each other and like learning about like what you're going to be doing there, and so it's a blessing. I've really enjoyed.
That's cool. And this isn't your first trip with them, right?
No, I've been on 3 trips. So my freshman year, I went to Orlando, so a domestic trip.
You go to Disney?
I did not. Funny story though.
There you go.
The same time I was there, my parents and my sister was at where is it?
Disney?
Universal Studios.
Universal Studios.
Okay.
Yeah, they went to Universal Studios. It's the same day I arrived there because my sister
Nice.
had a cheer competition. Didn't get to see him at all, so it kind of sucked. But then the next summer, I went to Tanzania, Africa, and that's an all-guys team. That was a blessing too.
Did your head bald?
Shaved my head. I did.
Bring
shave,
it back.
I did shave my head. Like it's like a whole tradition thing where Tanzania, like that team, they shaved their heads, and so it started like 20 years ago. It's been going ever since. And then I went to Scotland. So.
How many people were on your Scotland team that went?
So, counting me and Ellie, there was 11 of us. So there was 2 of us and then 9 members.
Is it? I can't remember if we've talked about this or not. Is it all student led, or do leaders like go with you guys, like
Yeah,
adults?
it's all student led.
It's crazy.
So
That's awesome.
they spend a lot of time really just prepping you on like how to lead in general, like just how to be a leader, but also just like logistical stuff, like airport stuff. Travel stuff, and like I had to carry a med kit with me at all times, and my co-leader Ellie, she had to carry all of our passports, and I carried like copies of them, and like all our insurance and all that stuff. And I do have a crazy travel story on the way back.
Let's hear it.
We were supposed to leave. I forgot what time we were supposed to leave, but we leave like on Friday and get back to like the United States on Saturday night or Saturday morning. So we get to the airport. We have to get there 4 hours early because like ORU policy and stuff like that. So we get up there and we're supposed to go with British Airways. And so we go up there trying to check in. They're like, no, you can't check in until 2 hours before your flight. And so we go back 2 hours later, try and check in, and they couldn't find any of our tickets. on the flight, but we know we had them booked because we had them booked like months in advance. So we know we had them booked. They couldn't find it. They were like, well, they're like with another airline with like I forgot what it's called, but it's like a Spanish airline. So I had no idea. And so like we were trying to contact with Brit Airways. We were also on our phone with the travel agent that we were with. And so like it was a whole deal. So we ended up missing that flight. They ended up trying to reconnect us to a different flight. So we go back up to British Airways, the same airline. And they still couldn't find our tickets. It was
Crazy.
like we literally like reticketed our flights, still couldn't find them. Ended up just changing completely different airline to I think it was United. And so went there, but by the time we like got our bags checked, we only had like 45 minutes to get to our flight. And so like half the team that already had their bags checked went, and so I had to stay with the other half. So they were already like bolting to the flight, and so you had to go through security and all that stuff and get your bags checked through there and stuff like that. And so like it was a whole thing. So like after we got our bags checked, like my half the team, we sprinted through security line. Was going like all the way out, like it was packed. So got through security and then like ran all the way to our flight, ended up making it. But like it seemed like every connecting flight, because we had a flight from Scotland to London, then from London to New York, New Jersey, and then from New Jersey to Tulsa. And so like seemed like every flight we were like on a time crunch. Like we really had no time to sit. So we were all like super hungry when we got back. So it was horrible. I never want to do that again. But
So we know you went with ORU. Is there a church that you paired with or a group that you paired with down there?
yeah, so ORU does a good job of like making contacts with organizations or like mission organizations or churches there. So we worked with a church called Destiny Church. And so basically what we did there is like we kind of just were their hands and feet, like just did what they told us. And so a lot of it was just street evangelism. That's probably what we did most of the time. We also helped with like some services they had throughout the week, and also on one of the Sunday services we got to help with that. So like me and like two other girls helped with like kids ministry, and then some of the other guys that were helping with like coffee and stuff like that, and so just other stuff like that. But yeah, it was mostly street evangelism. We went to different cities, went to like Glasgow and Edinburgh, Aberdeen, Ayr. So it's just a lot of just walking around, talking to people about the Lord, and so yeah.
Tell us one of your success stories, like something that was a big victory while you were there.
I think honestly, just partnering with the church was a big success. Like kind of a motto that we live by ORU: a successful trip is a safe trip. So the first thing you want to
Good.
make sure.
fair.
So like I remember my leadership interview. They asked me like, "What's a successful trip?" I had no idea like what the right answer was, because like that's the only question that has like an actual right answer. So like I'm going off like, oh, if we just like serve and stuff like that. But then they tell us after like, well, the right answer to that question is if it's a successful trip is a safe trip. So basically everybody gets back safely. So, but one success thing I think, just like ministry wise, was being with the church and like getting to know them and like being intentional with them, because there was one lady, she was a single mother. She like had a crazy testimony. She like used to like drink and like do drugs and all that stuff, and then just came to the Lord, and like she's been serving the Lord ever since. And I just remember one time the week before we went, we had like a training camp kind of thing, just like preparations for all of our trips, like all the students and all the teams. And we were with Team England, and like they were just praying with us and stuff. And then one of the members on the Team England said like, "Hey, I don't know if this means anything to you, but while I was praying, I just felt like the Lord just kept telling me like single mother. And so like you're going to have impact on a single mother." And like the entire trip we were with this volunteer at church. She was a single mother. And she told us like after the trip, like when we were about like getting ready to leave and stuff, like, "You guys have been such a big impact on my life."
Oh, wow.
And so like I think that's just like, that was such a blessing to be able to just to walk in the Lord with that. And just like, I mean, it's kind of unexplainable sometimes to like think about that kind of stuff, like, because I didn't even think about it till like towards the end of the trip, like, oh yeah, that actually happened. So I told her, and she's like, "Yeah, you guys have been like a huge impact on on my life and then like all of our else's life." I just think it's important to remember that like yes, you are going to mission trip to serve other people and like serve like the lost, but there's also people that you're serving with that you need to be intentional with and like that you need to grow, to help grow in. So
Every mission trip I've been to out of the United States has been South America. They eat a lot of beans and rice there. What does a normal meal look like for you in Ireland?
Wow, we got cooked a lot of different stuff because we had our own cook. Like one of the girls from the church, she cooked all of our food for us. Man, I don't even know. I can't even remember what I ate. Just once it was set out, I just ate it. So like the whole thing about haggis thing, people saying like it's disgusting and stuff. I actually kind of liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
I don't know what haggis is.
Here, I'm looking it up real quick. Hold on.
It's like this kind of like meat kind of thing.
All right, here we go. This is the AI overview for everyone out there. Haggis is a savory Scottish national pudding made from sheep's heart, liver, and lungs, minced with oatmeal, onions, and spices. And usually it's served in like some sort of intestine, like casing.
Oh yeah, it sounds really delicious.
Beef pudding.
If you guys could see this picture right now, it is.
It wasn't served like that. It was just like the black stuff, like all that was just like taken
You shouldn't
out.
be eating anything that has black stuff in it, like black beans. I think it's the
It
only
was
thing I
pretty.
eat
It
that
wasn't
has
that
black
bad.
colors
I
to
think
it.
what like your mind tells you like it's gonna be bad because like it has like
That looks
liver
like
and
vomit, bro.
intestines in it and just looks disgusting. But it wasn't that bad. But we ate a lot of good food there.
Eat a lot of potatoes.
That's Ireland.
They're close. They're literally sisters to each other. So
We had a lot of bread.
Bread?
Like a lot of bread. And I guess they eat a lot of food there because like I would eat like a whole plate and like a half and like maybe 2 plates and be like, you're already done? Or like, or you guys want more food? And you guys don't eat a lot of food because they brought a whole bunch of food for us. And so like, but yeah, the food's like really good there.
they probably were told that Americans just eat a whole bunch.
So they were prepped and ready.
Yeah, they were prepped.
What is? Yeah, I know you said you did a lot of like street evangelism and stuff like that. What does religion there look like? Belief systems and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, Eastern Europe used to be like a huge like Christianity and like especially like the Crusades and like just like Christianity just overtaking that part of the area. But I would just say like the last like 20 years, like it's just become like full on like atheists or just like agnostic. Just so like atheism is like not believing in any sort of God, or agnostic just like maybe there is a God, but I don't know if it's like the God that we serve, like Jesus. Like you can go and look and you'll see a whole bunch of like structures and buildings built like churches, like they literally are churches, but they've been bought out by like companies or like owners and like turned them to like pubs or like just tourist stores. And so like they really just like don't care. They don't like disrespect what people have built like hundreds and hundreds of years ago to like honor the Lord, like with like churches and stuff like that, and then they just buy them out and just like, turn them to like clubs.
So were those conversations that you were able to have with people, were they receptive to the gospel? Was there a lot of pushback to it? I mean, they probably at least know the stories of Jesus, but like, was there, I don't know, being in a Gnostic community?
They aren't really receptive. Like usually, like it's just kind of a culture thing too. Like usually they don't really like talk to each other a whole lot. I think it was kind of a lot of pushback. But there was a lot of times where we did actually have good conversations with people. Like, we didn't go out there and have like 55 salvations throughout the 2 weeks or anything like that. I just remember, me and this one girl that we were with, like it was one of our team members. We were just out evangelizing, and we saw these this couple sitting down. Went and talked to them, and like their view on Jesus was like they knew he was real, but they didn't really like know the full story of the gospel or like what that looked like, or they thought it was like just be a good person kind of thing. And they ended up actually like after we shared the gospel with them, after we shared our stories, like our testimonies, they ended up giving their lives to the Lord and gotten saved.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Come on.
Yeah. So we didn't have like anything like crazy like where we had like a whole bunch of salvations, but like we really just went out there and planted seeds and just got to know people more and be intentional with them. And so
Street evangelism, it sounds like y'all did more one-on-one conversations, or was there any like street preaching or anything like that?
It was honestly kind of tough, like working with Destiny Church, because they had like a different view of how we thought street evangelism was supposed to be. Like, I feel like our team specifically was best when we did like have one-on-one intentional conversations, but the way they wanted us to do it is like they would just have like these little leaflets and like just inviting people to church. Like you just walk around, give them out. And for us, that was really hard because like, you see it all the time, people giving out leaflets, and so people just ignore it. And so sometimes the best way that we did it is like we would try and find people sitting down or maybe like by themselves, like at a coffee shop or something like that, and just walk up to them. We still use leaflets, like give it to them just because like the church wanted us to, but also like try and sit down and talk to them. So that was like a hard thing to do with Destiny Church, because they just like had a different style of it. So, but we tried our best to do, like just be intentional with them, and so.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything about your trip that you haven't got to share yet that you want to share?
Oh, I'll tell you a story about. So another thing, like kind of going off, like what else we did with street. Like they call it church in the street. So we had a few people that could sing and play guitar on our team. So we just went out. We had speakers, we had a guitar, and we just went out and just worshipped in the street. And then we had like other people kind of like surrounding if people just want to like come talk to us or just need prayer for anything. And so that was a really cool thing. We did that I think twice. One time we did it in Aberdeen, and this is like kind of a scary story, but it's like also kind of awesome, just the way like the Lord protecting us in that moment, because we went to Aberdeen and like right away I just kind of like a sense like spiritual like darkness there, and like you like see a whole bunch of clubs and like strip clubs and like stuff like that, and then like it was really dark there, dark place, and people are like not really nice to each other. I remember like me and one of my team members, we were evangelizing, and we were trying to go up to this homeless guy, and he told me to F off or he'll kill me. Like, it was that serious. And like, I was like, all right, I'll see you later, man. God bless you. So it's kind of just one of those, you just got to dust the shoes off your feet and just keep going to the next person. There was one moment that we were doing church in the street, and this guy, he was drunk, and like he was, wasn't right. He just kept like heckling us, like screaming at the top of his lungs, like telling us, you got to stop preaching, and like cussing us out and stuff like that. He ends up like we're like in this center, kind of like in the center, but like also off the side of this little like shopping area. So there's a lot of people walking around, so they can clearly hear us and stuff. And he's just like sitting on this little bench on the other side of it. And he ends up like getting closer and closer and closer. And so like in my leadership role and like protective mind, I end up like trying to like meet him where he's going and just like staying next to him, because we had like a lot of girls like singing. So I was like, okay, I hope he doesn't like try and touch them or like do anything crazy. So I ended up walking next to him, and he's just like standing there, just like not doing anything. It seemed like as he got closer to us, the more he calmed down. And then that single mother I told you about, she was also with us, that volunteer. And she just like kind of goes up to him, pulls him to the side, and he just like starts like, and I end up going with her just to like have another person in that situation. And the whole time though, she's like putting her hand like behind, like in front of me, like protecting me the whole time, but I'm also there as well. But he's just like pouring his heart out to her, and like he ends up getting like really emotional and just like telling like her about his struggles and stuff like that. And she ends up telling his story, like, hey, I used to be like in the same situation I used to get drunk and drink a lot of alcohol and do drugs, but this is how the Lord saved me. And he didn't like give his life to the Lord and get saved and like that. But I think that situation, like, it was definitely crazy, but I think also just showing up and like the Lord showing up and just like protecting us, and also just I could tell like the Holy Spirit was there, because like the more he got closer to us, the more that we kept singing. Like we didn't like fold, or we didn't like fall under pressure. We stood our ground, we stood firm, and we kept singing, we kept preaching, and he ended up calming down. And like he wasn't like, after that he wasn't like heckling us anymore. I think he left eventually, but so
Love it. It's good. Yeah, What I love, Carter, is I hear, the Lord prepared your heart to go. You listened to him, and you went overseas, and you got to see the Lord do some incredible things. Maybe not numerically as what you would want to. What I love is numbers don't define success when it comes to these things. What you see is God using you to plant seeds and to lead a team there, which he's prepping you for even more in the future. And so I'm thankful for your faithfulness and your obedience to him. That's part of taking our faith outside the walls of the church, not just getting stuck inside the walls, but being willing to go wherever God leads us to go. And so that's part of our mission here at First Baptist Church every week that we say our desire is to love God, love people,
and make disciples. See you guys later.